share a reflection on Father Joe.
I received no instructions. We knew each other too well. I know the rules. Member of Joe's families, thank you. I will speak, but for a few moments. Joe and I first met 25 years ago, in the weeks before our daughter Kira's body was found, when one evening Joe and a parishioner arrived at her home, bringing words of sympathy, prayers, and a cooked meal. Prior to that, I did not know him. He saw a family in strife. He extended his compassion, his friendship. We are from the same county in the west of Ireland, Mayo. Since then, his friendship has warmed and brightened my life. It was a friendship in which we understood and accepted each other as we were, without mask or pretension. It allowed us to negotiate awkward and uneven contradiction and woundedness. We trusted and helped each other. Our friendship was important to each of us. Joe lived life with kindness. He did not add to other people's burdens. He was born to be a priest. Those who came to him were heard. They departed, knowing they were helped. As a friend, a good friend, I found him to be patient and kind, never rude or selfish, humorous, a perpetual twinkle in his eyes, and always, always optimistic. He did not take offense nor harbor resentment. He was ready to excuse, to trust, to hope, and endure whatever life presented to him. As you heard from Owen, his contributions to life and church were gigantic. While he recently navigated the turbulent waters of judicial proceedings, our friendship deepened. We spent a great deal of time together in those 3 or so years. Two of Joe's great loves, his church and his priesthood, were severely tested then. Nothing can hurt as deeply as a breach by what we hold dearest. This period tested every facet of my friend's profound affection for his church, his deep love of his priesthood, his spirit, and his courage. His place of belonging had been fractured. His life would never be the same again. I witnessed the blade of abandonment cut deeply into a sacred kinship. Yet Joe knew that blade only wounds if we permit it to enter the deepest corners of our spirit. Joe did not allow this to happen. As Viktor Frankl, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, wrote, and I quote, "Man can preserve a vestige of spiritual freedom, of independence of mind, even in terrible conditions of psychic and physical stress. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. A man can decide what shall become of him mentally and spiritually." End of quote. Joe, my friend, chose his own way of dealing with the circumstances in which he found himself. His initial fear of the unknown was replaced with courage. I witnessed that too. His spirit was challenged, but never broken. His gait remained upright. His humor stayed hearty. Several times he said to me, "No matter what we have to endure, we will hold our chin up and walk with grace and dignity. We are Mayo men." And with his index finger, as he would do, he would raise his chin a little, just a touch. He believed in what he said. He lived it. We talked to each other nearly every day, sometimes several times a day, and we met very frequently. His body surrendered to the cancer and the stress. His spirit never did. His love for the church he chose to serve never faltered or weakened. He loved his priesthood. His love for his priesthood grew stronger during that time. When informing me of his return as a locum priest, he expressed his delight in Latin, not Gaelic. He said, "Ec lux in tenebris lucet," a light shineth in the darkness. That's what it meant to him. His eyes lit up as if illuminated by divine grace. He smiled. His eyes welled with tears. Falsities fell away. I believe Joe emerged emotionally and spiritually stronger from his crucible of suffering. His absolute love for the church and priesthood remained resolute and steadfast. By then, his body was broken, his work here was done. He could now depart. He had a deep sense of the impermanence of our time on earth and the unwavering belief in eternal life. We spoke about it many times. My friend did not fear death. His decision to stop chemotherapy treatment is testimony to that. His two worlds, the here and the hereafter, were not separate from my friend. He was going home, and there would be a welcome for him there. To the end, he remained his own man. He chose his way. Even in dying, he showed us the way. I am honored Joe is my friend, my good friend. He is gone, but it is only until we meet again. And to finish in Gaelic, Banach Jelat Macaramai. Translated, God bless you, my good friend.